Hello everyone, Jenny here. I've got a special guest with me, as you can see. Welcome to the 30-Day Life Pathway Project. And I've been talking to you about, making yourself a priority, making your life a priority, and making time for yourself to create the life that you want, to live your life on purpose. And so up in this week, I want to talk to you about how something that I've been practicing for a long time from this beautiful lady here can help you, and is something, this is probably a secret, a thing you probably didn't know could help you. And so I want to welcome Glenys Brown, who is, she's a Qigong Master. She's my Qigong Master. She's taught me how to teach Qigong. She's worked internationally. She's an international medical intuitive. She's worked in over 22 countries. She's written a book called, I think, Save Your Adrenals. What's it called? Can't remember. Oh, I didn't write it down. I should have. So I asked her to come on today because she is like, the fountain of wisdom. And I want to help you understand how Qigong, as a really simple practice, can help you achieve the things you want in your life, whether it's heal your body, release your emotion, enhance your intuition, create more energy. I mean, it's really magic stuff. So welcome, Glenys. Thanks so much for coming on.
Hello, Jenny. Hello, everyone. I'm very glad to be here. It's lovely to be working with Jenny again.
Yeah, we've known each other now for quite a while, and you came into my life when I actually had a similar thing happen, which was, I was having messages come through, and I was looking for someone to help me understand how can I make sense of this. It was a sort of this medical intuition, and you were sort of my mentor, teacher, and now my good friend. It's really been an awesome journey together. So thank you so much for coming on. I want to ask you some questions so that we can help spread the word about Qigong. And I want to ask you as as a Qigong Master, and, much more than that. You are much more than that. People don't realize the depths of experience that you've had. But I want to try and get some of that out of you today to share with others. So when people ask you, what's Qigong, what do you tell them?
I tell them that Qigong's a way of expanding your life in every direction at the same time. So it deals with you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually all together. You don't have to go away and work like crazy on just your emotions, or work like crazy on another area, or just the physical, because it all heals together. It all goes forward together, because everything's energy, and and everything's in energy before it comes to us. So Qi means life breath. It means more than that really, but it's life breath. And so that's always with us, and then we die and the Qi becomes different Qi. And Gong means, you can make it mean work. You can make it I talk to my people about home fun, not home work. But it's about practice or repeating something all the time. Just repeating, so you're always boosting it, because it gives you the energy that nothing else I've ever tried, and it's been everything more or less, and just brings your energy in, shows us how to store it, how to keep it, and how to use it better for whatever is wrong. It's not a way to save your life. It will be on your life path, but it will bring and expand your life path to you. And it may be different to what you think. But as mine certainly was. I didn't know about this, but there it is, and here I am 30 years later. So it's been a long time you've been practicing. I know because you founded the College of Energy Medicine in 1982, didn't you? It's been a long time that you've been teaching. I was working on it before, working with people before that too. But that's how I started. Thanks, Jenny. That's quite a while.
Yeah, you're absolutely amazing. I mean,
as you can see by the colour of my hair, it used to be like Jenny's jacket.
That's all right. Well, being an elder just makes you wiser, and we want to draw from you some of that wisdom today. And so a lot of people think, well, sometimes when people ask me, I say, well, it's sort of it's like Tai Chi, but people often think of Qigong and Tai Chi as just something that is, well, maybe it's just for more energy, or it's to give you better balance and things like that. But like you were saying, it's much deeper than that, isn't it?
It's the fountain of Tai Chi, actually. Tai Chi is over 5,000 years old, and it's been continuous. I'm not Tai Chi, I'm sorry. Qigong,
isn't it? Yeah.
continuous.
Yeah.
And around about the 17th century, out of the Qigong, they developed Tai Chi. And there's many types. There's a warrior Tai Chi, and there's the quiet Tai Chi. There's the short. I myself have learnt 4 different types. And before, Qigong was available in Western Australia. But in China, you have to have done Qigong for quite a number, probably 8 to 10 years, before they'll teach you Tai Chi, because what they don't teach you very much here is the breathing and everything that goes with Tai Chi. They're both valuable practice. If you're someone with a lot of anxiety and things, you might think Tai Chi, but it's repetitive. Once you've learned it, you keep repeating the same things. With the Qigong we bring in the colour, the sound, the outside, the trees, your house, everything comes into it. So it's much broader. The seasons, all of those things come into it. It's much deeper and broader.
Okay, great. And so that sort of brings me to understanding energy, which is, I think a lot of people watching this do understand it. But if they didn't, how are we using energy in Qigong? Like, how does it work? Like, how do we use the colours, and how do the seasons come into it? Like, if we're explaining to someone how we can make use of that and what it can do, how would you explain it?
For me, I explain that energy is everything. It's everywhere. It's inside us, it's outside us, and everything that happens to us individually and as a group and as a country comes before the body feels it. And then eventually, when we don't listen to the intuitive messages, we get the accurate ones you can get from exploring Qigong. You get very accurate intuition, and other facilities. I use about a dozen, but I didn't know them. I didn't know they had names. I just used them. But in Qigong, any of those can come up, and they can all do the same job.
What do you mean?
Well, but with Qigong, it's more finer. You might be you might be able to see things all the time.
Yeah, clairvoyant or something.
But in Qigong, they'd have 7 different types, and so it's much more direct and individual.
So just for those who don't know, just give a little bit of the story about what actually happened to you that really put you on this path firmly. Because there's been a few.
The biggest one, I suppose, was the one that made me most grateful that I was doing it. The first thing it did is it brought me my husband, my second husband, the love of my life, my beloved, who's no doubt listening, but he's not with us in physical. He's very with us in other ways, and a lot of Jenny's people will know that. They've experienced talking with Eric or seeing him. That was the thing. And then when I had a heart attack, just briefly, I didn't know, and I got spoken to from above as Eric was trying to get me out. And it was very helpful because just at that time, it was a Sunday, and we'd been allowed to doctors opened their surgeries on Sunday for the first time about a month earlier. There's one down the end of my street who had, the ambulance people told me, out of 6 doctors, the only one that could have saved me. And as I came out the door, this big voice said, very nicely, very polite, but huge voice, "Do my work or else." And the or else was probably one of the most seductive things I've ever had presented to me in my whole life. I wanted to go. It just drew you in. It was just so lovely. But then I thought of Eric. I'd only been married 4 months. I didn't think that was very fair on him or me. So no, I'll just stay. So afterwards the pain came. Then the pain really came, and that's. But it taught me a big lesson.
Well, I mean, to hear the voice of God, or it was a near-death experience, I suppose. That's the term.
Oh, absolutely. I've had 2 And I could have had a dinky, yeah, I've had two.
Yeah.
One is a baby because no one expect me to live, and then this one. But this one was memorable. It was about a year before I stopped thinking there was a sword over my head, and if I took a step, it would come down. But the whole point of this exercise is you can do it by staying well and getting well. And that's where the Qigong comes in. You do not have to have this experience. I just needed a big push along to get me here to talk to Jenny and you, you know, and that's how it works.
All right. Well, let's talk a bit more about Qigong then, because I put together for the ladies in my group, put together a short Qigong video for them with some simple things that they can do. But I want to just ask you to explain. So can anybody do Qigong, and why is it good for women, especially over 50? A lot of my women will be sort of, you know, approaching 50 or over. And is Qigong better than, like, say, going to the gym, or, you know, how do you see it as fitting in with how it works for women?
As Dr. Oz said, medicine for the 21st century. Well, it's been around a lot of centuries. But what it does is it brings in first your energy improves, and so your intuition starts to improve, and the intuition becomes not only like good, but it becomes more accurate. Everything becomes more accurate. Messages come to you faster. You know things before they happen. You know when to speak and not to speak about certain things. Like, you don't go up to a lady in the street and say your liver's bad, as I know some people do, and that's not much fun for them. And it's very dangerous. So it teaches you to enjoy your life. It teaches you to ride with the things when they go up and down. We don't all, you know, things aren't going to go on like heaven all the time. It's only when you get there that happens. But but this will carry you through. And so for me, it's the other thing it does for women, particularly over 50, is, or any women, it lifts your libido. That's one of the first things it does. So if you're a younger woman and you could have children, you don't want to, be very careful. Someone come and accuse me once when she'd already had 5 children. She didn't need a 6th. But it was my fault. So, yeah. Okay. So apart from that, you can keep doing things you enjoy. You can start new things. You'll definitely start new things. And because your life will journey in another in a way, you might keep the same family, you might keep the same friends, but a lot of new things will come into you that you didn't know you had. But you've got them all the time. Everyone has lots of abilities in them. And there's so many more than the ones we just read a lot about. They're much deeper, they're much more enjoyable, and you become very happy, and it's good to have fun. Qigong is not about work, it's about fun. And each time someone comes to class, every single time they will tell me and tell Jenny they feel better when they go home.
Yeah.
And
so it just better, the energy's better.
Yeah.
And it starts to improve. Now, this brings me to, so I put together this a short video for just so people haven't ever done Qigong before. And there's a couple of things I want to talk about. First, about just, so that video kind of takes them through just some simple Qigongs, like, you know, doing the kidney massage and, you know, massaging the body, like, you know, stimulating the liver and the spleen, things like that. Just in a simple way, sort of covering the 5 major organs. How does that change our energy? Like, even if we just did that 5-10 minutes a day, how does that work?
It works from the way we breathe, actually, but it is, if you think, and you can get your mind around, not that the physical is first, or the mental or your head is first or anything, but that the energy comes first before all the building blocks and all the changes come. So you're in an energy world, which is much easier to get information on these days, but you have to do it inside. So it's like we have actually the energy comes from the ground up, the energy comes from the air, cosmos down into us, and it meets in our heart mind here. But we have three major areas. We have a base area, we have a middle area, and we have a top area. And the base area, everything below the waist, this is particularly important for women, that is where the engine is. And every bit of energy we can put through the major organs in the bodies, the pathways in the bodies, into these areas, it will come up into your heart, it will rise up, and then it starts to go into the higher consciousness, and then you've got a higher consciousness. But if you don't have your feet on the ground, or your energy going into the ground or coming from the ground, then you won't be able to explore it, because you won't be connected with the earth. The earth is the connector. The earth is a big one of us. It's made up scientifically of the same stuff. So you need to be earthed. And the kidneys is counted, although they are up half up the back and the waist, the kidneys is counted as part of that energy. But it's between your hands. You can have lots of fun playing with energy between your hands. A lot of people, you can just keep it still, keep it between your hands, facing each other, and just every time you breathe out, just think, wow, the energy's coming out. I can feel the energy coming out, or my hands are getting warm, or I feel better, or...
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's actually in the video that I made, but what about if we just give a little demo right now? I mean, can't see, but you, that area, the lower abdominal area you're talking about, or around the navel.
Anyway, from the navel down.
We call that the sort of lower dantian, right?
Mm.
So you practice a bit of Qigong first and then you do energy work, or can you just do that by itself, just to play? Like, is it more enhanced if you do a bit of Qigong first? What would you recommend?
This is Qigong.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, would you do some movements or other things before you did energy?
Well, in Qigong, there's always a warm-up period, like there is in any other exercises, because you're going to move your muscles and everything else. But your muscles, the slowest moving, vibrating things in your body, and so you've got to move beyond that if you want to get up into the higher consciousness. And so, yeah, you do some warm-ups and you do some stretching, but they're all aimed at following the path of the energy in your body. There's many paths. And so they've got a specific purpose when they go, and you have a specific purpose when you do that, which will come with the Qigong instruction. But it is not hard at all, because you can do Qigong standing up, sitting down, lying down. Now, you've got plenty of choices.
Yeah,
so
that's what I love about it. Just,
Before I get up in the morning, I must admit, I massage my legs and do lots of things with that, down to help me with my feet, and because it's a long way from my head where I want to go, so I've got to keep my feet going.
So could you just maybe you could give us a little demo on how to hold our hands, and just guide us through for a minute on, like, if we were to hold our hands, and just do that now. Could you guide us through and just tell us what to do, like just for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Take the palm of your hands and put them about, or you can show them.
Yes, show us, yeah.
And then just take that down until it's just below your navel, level with your navel. And then you just think, every time you breathe out, you keep them together. When you're breathing in, they'll just move a little bit, and then you breathe out and they come in a little bit. See, it's really, really little bit. Move in, out, breathe in.
And you breathe in and out through your nose?
Yes, and so you will have your lips shut, and if you can, you put the tongue to the roof of your mouth, but you don't need to worry about that first up. You just have to do this because it's fun. So what you do is, as you breathe out, you keep your hands still, and then you breathe in and you expand the energy, and then you breathe out and it all comes between your hands, and it goes straight up your arms and into your body, all your body. So if you keep that down in front of you, so when you've done that for a little bit and you practice that, what you can do is you get with someone at home or a friend or wherever, and you can practice it with them. But if you find that's getting good, you just then make it a little bit wider. Wider is not better, but when you can feel it happening, you can come out a little bit and then come out a little bit.
Yes, I can feel like tingling on the skin of my palms, right? On my up my fingers. I can feel like it's like tingling.
Yeah, it feels as though it feels so very full.
Yeah, so it feels like there's something there.
This is
Just slightly, you know, you just push a little bit and I can feel that there's
very, very little bit because it really works.
Yeah.
I still keep mine still like this. A
Subtle.
lot of people put it out. Well, you can put it out, see how far you can stretch, but I happen to know, as my doctors know, that mine goes across the world, so I don't need to do that. Or it goes outside the room or whatever. So, but it's like, it's a joy to you because one day you'll really feel it. You mightn't feel it at first, but you can feel it. So, and then you can play with someone at home's hand and just see if you do that, if they can feel it. If they don't the first week, don't worry about it because it'll be there. And I first felt it when I was pulling my hand across my body like that. So I had no idea what it was or what it could do. No idea.
And I think you told me as well that when you're holding your hands in front of the lower dantian, which is your energy center, that you're actually it's responding there when you're doing this, isn't it?
Very much so, because what it's doing, you've got a point in there, which is just down from your navel, about 3 finger widths down from your navel, and there's a very tiny point there. It's very tiny actually. And what that does, that's the start of your engine. So every 24 hours, that actually rotates and it sends the energy further up your body, and it gets further up until it blends, it gets up to the heart and the mind area, because that's a very important, that's like the bellows to keep your energy going and build it up, and then it goes right up above your head, and that's where you get the higher consciousness. That's when you get it. So if you're just going around only using the visions you're seeing or the other things that that you can get from going up higher, but if you're not rooted down, you will get sick. Simple as that.
Okay.
First 3 people I saw in America, wonderful. And I thought, then I'll get to the bottom half of their energy. And I was devastated. I found out one was in a wheelchair, one was stuck in bed and something, and they were healers that had not known about this because it wasn't known early on.
Right.
But it's fun to do this, to have a life. It might make you better at your sport. You might be better. Some people do get pregnant, and so be careful. But there's so many things. Whatever you like, whatever you're going to do, and it'll probably bring up some, in fact, it will bring up some new ones. A lot of people would come to me and people would say, can you make me medical intuitive? My answer is no. What Jenny and I can do is bring whatever it is for you up and forward and out.
So I just wanted to clarify. So does doing this help with grounding,
Yes,
like you were saying?
Okay. Because it's dealing with, remember I said below your navel, yes. That is the area that, and your kidneys will come into this too, and all of that will connect you with the earth. What this is doing is actually rooting our earth. It's the first point to start and root our energy to the earth again, because we go in cars, we travel, we're on concrete, we live in houses, that we don't walk on earth barefooted very often. Not enough, you know.
Someone might be sitting here thinking, well, you know, I'm writing a book, or I'm wanting to improve my relationship, or I'm wanting to get a new job or something like that, which is more kind of an earthly thing. Because you were starting to talk about how, you know, bringing the energy up and connecting in, how does that, what's actually happening, how does Qigong then, just a simple practice like this, how does it help us achieve those things or attract the things we want or create what it is we want in our life?
Because there are many, there are also many practices that can help you in every part of your daily life. And we work with those, and if it's writing the book, then if you're doing some things like this, bringing more energy into your body, then you're going to be more alert. You're going to get more ideas. It's going to flow. It's and You know, so it comes to you. If you want to improve your sport, you will find that the sport is improving. You are getting better times, or you are doing more. It's the difference is when we do it with the energy, it lasts. It just doesn't in time. It just doesn't go away after. Oh, that was good, and what a great day. Well, that was. Look at what I did, but you can't do it the next day, or the next day, or the next day. And with this, you can.
How long does a person need to do? Is that enough? 5-10 minutes? And how often to really? I mean, if you do it once a week, is that really going to do it?
No, like I said before, no. Well, you'll feel better for about 20 minutes, and that'll be it. But half an hour, perhaps an hour with a bit of luck. But it won't stay in your energy, because we've got to store energy. We come in with two kinds of energy, and one is what we get from conception onwards, and then when we're born we start breathing. That's the life energy here. So there are two kinds. So one's all the energy that if we don't look after ourselves, the one that we're born with, the most important one, dissipates. And that's why when women lose their periods and turn into what they would call the spiritual time, or sometimes call old age, it's not. It's the greatest time. You can really have some fun, perhaps. A lot of fun. But yeah, so just fit it into your day. Find out, say two things to yourself. Where am I going to do it? When am I going to do it? And where am I going to do it? And say to myself, my higher self will remind me to do this every day.
Okay.
May or may not, might say, I want to go and have fun, but that will still remind you.
All right. So every day, as much as just using the video that I've made, and then moving on from that, we'll probably have some more talks with each other, and I think we're going to do something in the future. We can put some more things out there for our audience. But so just for the moment is do their practice every day, notice what happens, enjoy the movement, and just notice what happens in your energy, notice what starts coming to you, and notice how things change, whether it's ideas or, how you're feeling. You might be energy level, and what else shows up in your life. Is that a good summary?
That's a beautiful summary.
Okay, cool.
Colours might improve too, because we do use colour and sound and lots of things.
Okay, yeah, I know you've got a lot up your sleeve, so that's why I want to be able to, do some more with you in the future. Later. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom, your many years of experience with this. Really appreciate it.
Thank you much. A lot of love to you, Jen, and all because it's fun.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Glenys. We'll be back. We'll be back. Famous last words. All right. Okay. Thanks, Glenys.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Enjoy.